What's up, everybody? It's Clint Armitage with the Liberty Podcast. So it's another Spoken Word Friday. And now this spoken word is entitled Train Different. And what I'm talking about is you got to start training your mind differently. You got to start training your thinking differently. You got to start training your body differently because God does it different. If you notice, the Bible says that the disciples turned the world upside down. Jesus did the opposite of what the world did. He does the opposite what the world does. And so that is thinking differently and training differently. So we have to prepare differently. And that's how God is going to use you to do great things in this world and all the opportunities He's going to bring. So check it out. Another Spoken Word Friday. So I saw this movie once. It was called The Fault in Our Stars. In the movie, the main character wrote a eulogy for her boyfriend. She was at a church practicing the eulogy and mentioned all the numbers in between 0 and 1, referring to the infinity of everything in between those two numbers. Now, when I heard this, I immediately thought about the infinite possibilities God has provided for us between our 0 and our 1. I thought about how His purpose for each and every one of us includes the infinite options between our start in life and our end in death here on earth. When we typically look at the numbers 0 and 1 next to each other, we tend to see an abruptness or shortness to it. It's like 0 to 1 and done. It seems so short and quick and not enough and unfulfilling. Now, when we look at 0 and 1,000, it doesn't seem as abrupt. It gives us a feeling of more time or just more in a general sense. However, what we don't realize is that there are an infinite amount of numbers in between 0 and 1, such as 0.01, 0.011, 0.012, etc., like she said in the movie. So, I started to look at life in a different way since then. It wasn't a life's too short mentality. Now, I understand where the perspective, lies and where that saying comes from. But with a mindset of life's too short, you have to begin cramming everything you want to do within this tight time frame. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on something big. That's the thought. But in contrast, if you look at the endless possibilities and opportunities that God has provided, then you don't have to cram anything in. You don't have to feel rushed. Now, I'm not saying there isn't urgency in some things, because there is. But more like there's not just one big thing that I'm here for, and if I miss it, I'm out, I'm done. It's more like I just have to take each opportunity that God offers me. And if I miss one, that's okay. I obviously don't want to keep missing God's opportunities. But He knows that I'm not perfect and has so much more out there for me that I can be a part of. Remember, He's eternal and omnipresent and working in everything. I just have to be ready and willing to participate in what He already has going on around me. So that's how I can be ready for the opportunities that God provides me with His purpose for my life. Like Isaiah 55, 8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." So, we have to start looking at the bigness of God and the endless possibilities for us to participate in His will. Yes, our days are numbered. As a matter of fact, the Bible teaches this. In Psalm 90:12, it says this, "So teach us to number our days, that we may present a heart of wisdom." Now, the heart of wisdom comes when we understand our 0 to 1 limitations, but also to be able to take advantage of all those numbers in between. Think of the possibilities. It's a little bit of eternity here on earth before our eternity in heaven. Even the Lord's Prayer mentions this when it says, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." The fact that Jesus told His disciples to pray this prayer asking God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven is a revelation to living with a mindset of eternity. His eternal purpose for us is in heaven, also to be lived out here on earth. So I figure the way we can do that is just live a God-purposed life. The great thing is there is such an eternity in between our birth and our death, our 0 and our 1. So look at the infinity between our 0 and 1. What opportunities do you see? Keep your eyes open. God will provide endless opportunities for you to do His will. All you have to do is just ask Him if you can participate. And then when He does provide the opportunity, get in there and do what you were created and gifted to do. And do it for God. Live a passion, performance, and purpose life. Train and think differently for God.